Oh shit, oh take, pray them niggas go away. Oh, we sell the clowns around it, look like circus show. Like, this is not the album either, these are just a dope.
What's going on, guys? So today we're going to hop into a shoulder workout that we completed on Thursday. We're just going to get right into a voiceover of this workout, let you guys know what we did. So here, starting off with some overhead press. Did this for 3 sets for 3 to 5 reps. You see me here using 135 pounds. I like to keep it a little bit heavy on the first movement of the day just to make sure we're utilizing those fresh muscles to their fullest potential. In my opinion, that's how we're going to stimulate the most growth. Next clip here you see is just going to be a little bit of a form check just to make sure all the cylinders are moving effectively. A couple key points that I like to go through when I'm completing this lift is to make sure that my core is nice and tight, so we're not wobbling up at the top of the lift, so we're safe all the way through the movement. Next is to keep my elbows tucked in. What that's going to do is make my shoulder health a lot better in the long run, so we're not just relying on 100% shoulders to get the weight up. In this last rep here, you can see I'm pushing my head through at the end of the movement. That's going to ensure we're using all of our shoulders and help us get all the weight up that we can. Next here we have a deltoid triset. So what a triset is, it's 3 movements done back to back to back with no rest in between. What this will do is really exhaust the muscles and put a lot of volume in so we get some growth. This here is some lateral raises. I believe we did this for about 10 to 12 reps. It's really going to target the side of the shoulder. Next, we move to plate raises. This is one of my personal favorite movements for front delts. One key here to take away is to keep your elbows kind of bent. This is going to save your elbows in the long run. We don't want to injure ourselves here. We're training for longevity. We want to work out as long as we can and as hard as we can. So make sure you keep those elbows bent. Next up here, we're moving pretty quickly, but it's a rear delt fly with a resistance band. The reason why I like the band a lot is because you can keep constant tension towards the end of the movement. As you can see in my face, it's a little hard at the end there to hold the band for a second. That's going to give us the most time under tension, which is going to stimulate the most growth in the muscle. Next movement here is Arnold presses. Arnold presses is a really good movement because it involves the front, side, and rear delt all in one movement. You're seeing my top set here with the 65-pound dumbbells. Really wanted to keep it nice and heavy here after all that volume. After the pre-exhaustion, it's really good to hit you with a heavy movement to kind of shock the muscles and give it something they're not used to. Next up here, we should have some rear delt flies with the cable. Yeah, so with the rear delt flies, this is a staple in anyone's rear delt routine, just for the sure fact on how effective it is at keeping constant tension on the rear delt. Constant tension is probably the most important thing when rear delt training because of the lack of emphasis that it is put on that muscle group. A lot of people think shoulder presses and side raises and all that things. That's going to help their shoulders pop, but the rear delt is the cap, the end-all be-all, the part of the shoulder that's going to complete that 3D deltoid look. Here we did a double drop set. I started at 15 pounds and dropped my weight all the way to 5 pounds. The really important thing here is making sure your form is not going to break down, because if you do, especially on this movement and any other rear delt movement, your traps are going to take over because they're the stronger muscle group. Your body's going to want the easy way out no matter what, and we don't want that to happen. We want the rear delts to get the majority of the work. You'll see at the top of each movement, I kind of pause as well. That's going to give us that constant tension that we're looking for to activate the most muscle growth. Next movement here is shrugs, superset with upright rows, and a variation you'll see at the end. So yes, we are on the Smith machine. I personally love the Smith machine for doing shrugs. It allows me to focus just on the muscle working, and that's one of my favorite parts of training, is that mind-muscle connection. First we start in the front, and then we start in the back. So what this is going to do here is not only hit the front of the trap, it's going to hit the back of the trap, which is actually the biggest part. And it's really going to give you that kind of cobra look that everyone wants nowadays. And here is some upright rows with the same weight, trying to keep it nice and heavy. It's a good movement to be strong at because there's a lot of muscles helping you out. Last movement of this little tricep is going to be, I don't even know what these are called, but they're great. Forget who I saw do them, but I would definitely add them into your routine. It's like almost like a bent over row, but with your elbows flared outwards, and it activates the rear delts awesomely. Now here is the last movement that you're seeing of the day. It is a reverse grip shoulder press. So our palms are facing in towards our bodies and we're pressing up, we're exploding up. Now this movement is awesome because we control the negative and make sure that we're pushing as hard as we can on the way up. It's really going to be a good finisher. I don't do this in the beginning very often. I usually save it for the end. Then we superset that with some static holds. Now, I first saw Jeff Nippert do this. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he's a really smart guy. Definitely recommend giving him a watch. What this is going to do is strengthen our stability muscles to make us stronger in the dumbbell bench overall. Now, that's going to be the end of the commentary of this workout. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Joey from The Sporting Edge. Hopefully we see you soon. Bye-bye.